Going live. Everything's working now, guys. Look, the screen moves. We are good to go. Welcome back to the stream. Sorry again about that. That's embarrassing. Give me a second. I need to link this in Discord and then also over on Twitter. All right, let's go ahead and tweet that. We are good to go. Sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties there. Let me pull up the chat real quick. That way I can see whenever you guys talk. Let's go ahead and start a new game. We're going to be getting things off, starting it out in survival mode, or normal mode, sorry. Normal mode, not survival mode. So my goals for the series, I want to get 1 billion units. We need to make a source of passive unit income. That way when we spend it, we're not like just having a net loss, you know. We need 6 S-Class starships. We need an S-Class freighter. We need 3 S-Class multi-tools. We need to complete the story, and we need to set up a community base so that everybody that wants to join in on our planet to build on can do that. We can have a lot of cool community builds. Hopefully everybody keeps it cool and nobody does any trolly stuff. But, yeah, I think that'll be a really good goal for the series. That is our Plane 2 main series, and this is going to be kind of educational. Hopefully I can explain some things, give you some good life hacks for this game. My name's Cairo. If you didn't know, welcome to the channel. Our jetpack is online. I'm going to Alt-Tab to minimize that window so I can get back to seeing the chat. And here we go. I can actually see it. We do have a video feed this time. Went 30 minutes without anybody saying anything, and it was working on my screen, but apparently it wasn't working on the live stream. So anyways, we are on a new planet. We are going to get things started off by left-clicking with our mining laser to mine ferrite, dust, and carbon. You can hit C if you want to perform a scan. It'll tell you the scanner is critically damaged. Right-click to get that off your screen. We're going to need 75 ferrite dust for that, and that is in our multi-tool. Okay. So you can get ferrite dust from all kinds of like rocks and things like this. If you see these like plants like this, they're pretty common. They're universal throughout the entire star galaxies. All the galaxies have them. Those are going to give you oxygen. Oxygen is used for your life support. So if you're having a hard time getting your life support up, that's going to be your go-to. We're going to get some ferrite dust. We're going to need 75 again. I think we just got enough. Yeah, so that'll pull up right there. You can see we go here, click it, and it says 75 ferrite dust to repair. Now whenever we hit C, we'll get all these little icons popping up. And you see those yellow ones right there. That one's 102 units away. That one's 61 units away. This one's 116. We're going to go that way because our toxic protection is falling. If we use these duridium-rich plants, just hold left-click. E to grab them. Same with these little zinc plants. I'll show you a little bit better what they look like right here. This is what they look like. You can actually recharge your hazard protection. So hit tab, go to your hazard protection, drag the sodium up there. Also, when we were mining, we got a geode. This is probably going to increase our ferrite dust when we analyze it with E. Yes, it gave us about 102 ferrite dust, which is fantastic. You will get those on occasion. Also, another thing we need to grab early on is at least 80 dihydrogen. You're going to want 80. You only need 40, I believe, for the early on repairs and stuff. But you will need 40 more later on for some launch fuel. So you might as well collect it whenever you see it. We got 37. You'll notice whenever I'm mining things, it starts out with 40 as the damage number. And if I continue, in the top right, the little bar, that's your heat bars going up at the top. The higher that gets, the more damage, so the faster we're going to mine with things. But you don't want to let it overheat because you'll lose all of your heat before you can use it again. So you just want to let off of it and kind of grab everything you need. Hopefully, that's a pro tip a lot of my friends didn't know that I play with. Hopefully that'll help you guys out a little bit. So, why No Man's Sky Beyond? Why are we streaming this game? I want to answer that question right here. That is a nice dihydrogen crystal, by the way. We get this little signal source right there. That is our starship. We're going to want to use that. These little Duridium-rich plants will give you unlimited boost to your jetpacks, which is fantastic. You'll see we're going pretty quickly because we have that. It wears off, and then we need to not spam it because we'll run out very quickly. But then we get another one. They're pretty common on these planets. Usually you'll find them just like place to place, and we can go, I think this was like 600 units away. We can go very, very quickly. You just want to make sure you watch the bottom right. Your jetpack will actually deplete faster than the little message will come up. So since we're so close and we're doing good on all our resources, we're just going to go ahead and grab up some more of this dihydrogen. There is a little bit of grind involved in this game. I really personally love that element to it, but I know a lot of people don't. So if you don't like the grind, don't worry. We are going to be working on that, getting the grind as little as possible throughout this playthrough, basically. Let's go ahead, recharge our mining beam. If you ran out without getting carbon, you can walk up to a plant and melee it. The keyboard for it is Q. You'll get a few carbon, then you can mine it. You'll get a few more. Eventually, whenever you actually mine the entire plant out, you'll be able to go ahead and grab all of that sweet, sweet carbon. I don't know why we can't attack those plants. Sometimes there's some bugs in this game. It's all procedurally generated. Think Minecraft. Damaged machinery. Let's cover this real quick. It's always going to have something in here. If it's rusted metal, take it. If it's not, hold middle mouse button to delete it. Right click to get out of it. It's a little faster. That way you're not taking hazard damage as long, and then hit E to collect it again. These green containers are extremely important on your first planet. They will always have rusted metal in them. This is worth 2 ferrite dust to 1. Sorry about that. My right click likes to spam sometimes for no reason. You can grab that. Go ahead and put that in your pack, and then we can refine that in a minute, okay? And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But yeah, we are going to our distress beacon. We're going to go ahead and activate that. I'm not going to cover the story. We're going to go through the story, but I'm not going to actually like read any of it off. If you guys are interested in that, highly suggest you yeah, welcome back, Hostel. If you guys are interested in the story mode of this, I would highly suggest getting the game and playing it. It goes on sale a lot, so even though it's like $50, I think, for full price, you can get it a lot of times for like $10. It's a pretty nice game. We get into the starship after that. It says, hey, your starship's broken, dude. You need to, like, fix this thing. And so we go, okay, yeah, how do we do that? We're going to connect our exosuit. It doesn't matter which one of those you pick. I think connecting exosuit is slightly shorter, but I could be just biased. Repair ship systems. Beep boop says Hosnell out. Boop beeps, I say. Back to you. Boop beep to you, sir. We're going to go ahead and make a metal plating. If you don't know how to make stuff, you're going to go to your either starship or exosuit inventory. You're going to left click on the PC, and then metal plating takes 50 ferrite dust. That's why we collected quite a bit of it up front, and why I'm telling you, grab all that rusted metal. It's going to save you a lot of time. We can go ahead and do that, and it's going to be like, hey, you need a hermetic seal, so let's hop out of this, hop back in. You might not have to hop out and in. I always do. Yes, we're going to need metal plating. We already did that, and now it's like, oh, hey, you actually did that. Let's get you going on the next thing. You need a hermetic seal, but you don't know how to make it. So, you can ask us for help. So we ask our starship for help, and it's like, hey, I'm big smart. I'll help you out with that. So then we have to come over here to this distress beacon again. Hippie engineer. Yes, exactly. We are the hippie engineer. We're going to take the planetary chart from this distress beacon. That's going to end up in our exosuit inventory. So hit tab. Let's cover these geodes real quick. This geode I probably got from mining ferrite dust. We have 169 right now. If I hold E to analyze this, we're going to get like 100 more. So 277. That's quite a bit. Crystal fragment. Again, you can analyze this. I probably got this from dihydrogen. So yeah, we got a lot more dihydrogen from that. That's fantastic. Planetary chart, same thing. Hold E to plot the route. And it's going to show us where our hermetic seal is so that we could be more space hippie engineers and get everything done. We got to fix our ship so we can get off this planet. You can see up there, right up there, there's another green crate. We're going to go ahead and go grab that. If you hit Z, you can pull up this little module right away. We're going to go ahead and make a portable refiner. We need oxygen. Since we don't have the oxygen, I'll just gather it on the way over. I'm going to make my way to that little supply crate so we can get our you know, the most valuable resource early on, which is ferrite dust. We need a ton of it for the early game, and it takes a while if you're going to just mine it all. So let's go ahead and come over here. If you're lucky in these containers as well, you can get a dihydrogen jelly, which will save you on the second most, kind of tedious to get element. We got some condensed carbon. That's fine. These red crystals are condensed carbon, by the way. The giant ones you'll need an advanced mining laser to get, which you'll get pretty early on in the story. But right now we don't have that. But it's just twice as effective as regular carbon, or it's more than twice as effective. It's very effective at recharging tools or being what's it called? It's basically really useful. Hustle Out says No Man's Sky is more exploring planets and stuff, while SE is more focused on one solar system and it gives more creativity. Yeah, that's kind of what I've seen from it. We're going to use this Doridian plant to go over here to this coordinate system. We can look around while we're flying. It's fantastic. Go ahead, and while I would recommend, while there's no storm going on or anything, because there's always a storm. Always a storm on your first planet around this time. Go ahead and grab up some carbon. You're going to want it. You're really going to want it. You're going to need a lot of it for the base missions, and also for, I think for the hermetic seals and stuff, you're going to need at least 50 for this for the next part. So, yeah, might as well grab quite a few. It doesn't take very long. Again, keeping that heat upwards. You can see now we have a storm going on. We're losing our protection very, very quickly. Oh, that thing is apparently aggressive? No, it's not aggressive. We don't have our analysis visor, or we could actually scan that. I'll show you guys how to do that in a little bit. I haven't actually built it already. It doesn't tell you to build it till later, but you can actually build it right away for all of you veterans out there. Shoots mining laser across the world to get dust. Yes, exactly. I don't know how we like collect it, but I mean, it breaks apart. In here, there's nothing. Over here, we still have a little bit of storm protection, so we're good to go. Okay, my right click is driving me nuts, but that's okay. Need a new mouse, by the way. Let's go ahead and get rid of that vicious slime, or viscous slime. We got some nanites. Not the best thing you can get from there, but, you know, I'll take everything I can get. We're going to go to this hollow archive, and it's going to say, hey, buddy, I got your hermetic seal from you, or for you. Don't know who left this here. I couldn't find my ship, but we're just going to leave this here while I go out and try to find it and then die. Some alien did before us. So now we got our hermetic seal, and now it's like, oh, hey, you can't find your ship. You have to build an analysis visor. Go over to your multi-tool, hit E to install technology, and then boom. You're going to need a carbon nanotube for that, so go ahead and come over here, use the 50 hydrogen we just got, or not hydrogen, 50 carbon, and go ahead and repair your nanotubes. Now if you hit F, you can see all kinds of stuff come up, including your starship, and at the top you can see there's this little, here. Up here in this area, you can see there's a little compass with lots of icons on it. You can see that little blue one's going to be important for us in a minute, but we can't actually do anything with it right now. Since there is a storm, the storm's clearing. We'll do that whenever we get back to the house. Let's go ahead and grab this oxygen, however. This oxygen is going to be really useful for us. We're going to need it for life support, and we're also going to need it for crafting. There's some Doridium-rich plants over there. Might be worth going and getting. Not entirely sure, because we actually have to go this way. You can see our starship is this way. Now you'll notice our jetpacks really suck right now, but if we go to a vertical surface like that, they won't actually run down until we get up on top of it. That is a mechanic they put into the game. So, yeah, it would have been worth it to go over there. But anyways, that is a mechanic they put into the game to make sure that people didn't get stuck in holes, because that was an issue whenever the game first came out. Let's go ahead and grab some more of this. If you just wait around, it'll take like 20 seconds, but you'll get whatever's in the container. I don't like to wait around, so I just, do this. If you do the little glitch thing right there where you like get kicked out, like I just did because my mouse kind of sucks, then it'll go ahead and on the second time, even if you're just now getting the stuff out, you can just run off because you grab everything you need from it. It's fantastic. Let's go ahead and go back over to our ship. By the way, how I'm doing that little quick jump is you start running, so left shift, you hit Q to melee, and then you hit spacebar to jump and use your jetpack, and then you just kind of use it, hopefully to break your fall, but I used a little bit too much juice on that last jump. It didn't have enough to break my fall, so you can actually take a little bit of damage. You gotta be kind of careful, especially in permadeath and survival modes. I believe the damage is actually increased on those modes, so be careful. Apparently something hit me, probably a hazardous plant of some sort. More oxygen we could have got, but we didn't get. Let's go ahead. One more piece of carbon. I just can't get enough of this stuff, guys. It's we need it. It's useful. All right, let's go ahead and go down to our ship. Let's plop down this portable refiner. It's going to take 1 metal plating to create, by the way. You don't have to do this right now. It doesn't instruct you to, but you're getting ready to have to, so you might as well. Let's just go ahead and throw in our rusted metal. We're going to get a ton of ferrite dust from this. Not the first thing you're probably going to need, but if you do, you need it. Go ahead and grab in here to get our hazard protection back. Hit tab. Go over to here and put our hermetic seal in there. It's like, oh man, you're awesome. Now your launch thrusters are critically damaged. You need to fix those too. Ha! Who needs oxygen, says Hosnell out. Apparently not the creatures on this planet, but I definitely do need oxygen. I can't live without that very long. So now it's going to be like, hey, you need to craft dihydrogen jelly. So it's going to highlight this thing, left click. It's going to take 40 dihydrogen, those little blue crystals outside. And you can click in here and grab this. Next, we're going to need pure ferrite. And that's kind of why we're refining our ferrite right now. This is taking a while. I'm going to make a second one. I've got enough ferrite dust as is. So let's go ahead and throw ferrite dust in here to get pure ferrite. It's going to be a 1-to-1. We're going to put carbon or condensed carbon in there to fuel it. And we're going to need, I think it was 40. So let's just grab that. This is making us up a bunch of extra stuff. I don't know why. For some reason, the menus get stuck, so when you hold E, it'll go to the thing behind you. Actually, we need 50 of them. My bad. We don't want to put pure ferrite in there. That'll magnetize it. And we don't want that. We just want this stuff. That's plenty. We're actually going to leave the pure ferrite in there. Or get more pure ferrite from that, I mean. So here we go. Let's go ahead and repair that. Now our ship is operational. We can actually lift off the planet now. This is almost done. This one is also almost done. While we're waiting on that, I would always suggest while you're waiting on stuff to mine or whatever, grab some carbon. Carbon's seriously worth it. Hosnell says, hold on, if you think realistically, you need oxygen to get energy from, like, food. Do they get oxygen from those plants that have oxygen? Yeah, I would think so. I would think they do. But I don't know for sure. Oh, this is a good find over here. Okay, so every now and then on planets, you'll see stuff like this. These are humming sacks. If you hold F for your analysis visor, you'll see these little 3 things. And if you go over the little 3 lines, and if you hover over it, it'll say humming sack. If you come up to here and hold E, it'll open up. And then it'll be like this ridiculously bright thing that kind of hurts my eyes. And it's an albumin pearl. They stack up to 5, and they're worth 9K each. Early on, it's pretty decent money, so we're going to go ahead and grab all of these up, even though it's probably murder on the eyes. And this is just a point of being opportunistic. Anytime you see something like this, you might see little cubes on the ground. Grab those as well. They'll be marked as subterranean relics. That's probably one right there. No, that's a sentient plant. That's a Gravitino ball. If you grab Gravitino balls, sentinels on the planet will become aggressive to you, so just watch out for that. Let's go ahead and grab everything from here. I just used middle mouse button to go ahead and pick those up. We got all our carbon back that was used as fuel, and we got all of our other things we used. So now, anyways, we are in our starship. Hold W to take off. Wait for the prompt before you do that. Don't get in too big of a rush. Otherwise, you get kind of stuck for like 5 minutes before it realizes, oh, hey, he already did this. I hit spacebar after I looked straight upwards to kind of use the hyperdrive. Not the hyperdrive, the warp drive to get into outer space. We're going to end up in a little asteroid belt right here. This is a fantastic place to spend like 2 minutes or so just shooting asteroids. You're going to get silver, you're going to get gold, you might get some rarer things as well. But what we're really looking for is just the tritium. The tritium is very cheap at space stations and whatnot, but it can be refined for dihydrogen jelly, and it can also be used to fuel your pulse engines. So boom, we already got 190 from all that. We've got some clusters as well. The tritium clusters are worth more units to sell. We just got one right there, tritium hypercluster. They're worth more units to keep as hyperclusters if you're trying to sell it. If you're just strictly trying to get a little bit of cash real quick, you don't need the tritium, then sell them like that. Otherwise, it's less expensive, but it's not usable in this form. So if you hold E over it, you'll see we go up to 370, we go up to 430, and then we go up to 490. I'm just going to get about 500 or so. See if we can get a golden nugget. Now, a golden nugget is going to be way less expensive in the nugget form than it is in the just gold form. Gold is going to be worth thousands of units more. Let's see if we can get one of those real quick just to show you guys. And this isn't the latest update. This is 2020. This is the Beyond update, late 2019. If you guys are wondering in the future if this is getting viewed and you're wondering, what version of No Man's Sky this is, we accidentally overheated our photon cannon. That kind of sucks. We got a gold nugget here. It's worth 3,200 units. We got 1,700 units worth of gold. If we analyze this, you'll see we go up to 2,900 units. That one actually was not very good. Usually you get quite a bit more gold than that, but it is what it is. It is an RNG type thing. You can hit C to scan planets while we're out here. Let's go ahead and use the bottom right. Hostile Out says, "Nice, my retinas are gone gone early game." Yeah, exactly. You can see in the bottom right it has us test like boost with left shift and then hold space to use your pulse engine. And that's how you use all that. And if you want to cancel pulse engine, you just hit S. Now next it's going to give us a little message that's going to say, hey, there was somebody out here. Identify yourself. And we're going to be like, yeah, it's us. It's me. You know who I am. Cairo TV. Cairo Plays, I guess. We're on the second channel right now. Then we're going to input coordinate data that we get from this. 16, 16, 16, 16. That's like their favorite number in this game. Now on the top, you can kind of see that little compass up there. That's going to point us to our direction for this little signal. Also, I prefer, if you hit X, you can go to this little utilities thing. Switch Starship View is going to give us a third-person view in the Starship. I like this quite a bit better. We're going to go ahead and use our pulse drive to get over here faster. You can see it's going to take us 33 seconds to get over there. You don't want to be doing this without a pulse drive. That is a long haul you do not want to be in for. Trust me, you can do it. You don't want to do it. Now, launch thrusters. While we're going over this, or while we're flying over there, I can go over how to craft more fuel. Because without any upgrades, it takes 25% of the energy to launch off the ground. That's what the launch thrusters are for. So next time we land and launch, we're going to be out of energy. So after we land the next time, we can't actually go anywhere. That's not brilliant. You're going to want to make a metal plating and have at least 40 dihydrogen in your inventories, which we have 80 here. Make the metal plating, and then you can make a Starship launch fuel. These can stack up to 15, I believe, and they'll actually recharge it to full. So don't use it until you're completely out of boost. Let's go ahead and fly down here to our signal source. Get our terrain manipulator and our base computer. Take note of anything you really see that looks interesting up above ground. You can hit tab to skip this. We're going to hit tab to skip it. Go over to the broken technology. We're not going to have to remove stuff. This is a special one. We can decipher the signal and we'll get our blueprints for base computer 16. Yeah, 16. That's the best thing in this game. Or it's their favorite number anyways, like I said. So you're going to see 16 a lot in the storyline. It is what it is. We're going to extract the plans. We got a base computer blueprint and we got a terrain manipulator blueprint. Let's go over to our multi-tool. install, terrain manipulator, 2 nanotubes, and 1 dihydrogen jelly. So let's go ahead and make 2 nanotubes, sorry. I made 1. If you want to make another one, hover over it, hit E. And then a dihydrogen jelly. I am getting attacked by these guys. So we're just going to shoot them with our mining beam. They will actually die pretty quickly. Kind of annoying. Let's just jump up on top of our ship so they don't bother us too awful much. We can get some feline livers. That's pretty good money early on. Mordate's just going to take up our inventory slots. Speaking of inventory slots, pro tip, if you want to have more inventory early on, let's go ahead and recharge this. You can use E to move technology to your technology tab, because that makes a lot of sense. There's reasons why you want to put it in your general tab later on, but we'll get into that later. So we went ahead and made this. We have this in our inventory, the nanotubes and the dihydrogen jelly. Let's go over to our multi-tool, and then we can repair this stuff so that it is fully functional. Now, if you hit G, you can see you swap between the terrain manipulator and the mining beam. You see this little blue thing, buried technology module. You can't get that without the terrain manipulator. We're going to use left click, go ahead and go down there and grab this. That's very important for us. Very, very, very important. We're going to look around for another one real quick before we get too far into it. It's 200 units away, 270 units away. I'm just hitting F, by the way. You can see these guys, we can actually hold left click and scan them. If they have a red dot, it means you haven't scanned them yet. You can actually get quite a bit of money from these guys once you upgrade your scanner. You can get like 100,000 per thing you scan, which is crazy. But it's kind of chump change, honestly. It sounds like a lot of money early on, but it's really not. Let's go ahead and go into third person. I like to play in third person. And now we can see our little anomaly here. That's what we are, by the way, is an anomaly. A lot of people think you're a traveler, but unless you change your race to traveler, you're not. You're an anomaly. Another little thing for ferrite dust over here. Let's go ahead and grab it. You got to be opportunistic in this game. If you see something, grab it, like take it. Let's go ahead and grab whatever is in here. How far away is that? 120 units. That's really close, actually. So the reason we're going to need this technology, buried technology, a lot of people say, Hustle House says, hey, you gave an animal a properish burial. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, if they have that icon, that means they're aggressive and they're trying to come after you. What is this? We need copper, by the way. So let's find a copper deposit. It's going to be a deposit that looks like this. Copper deposit. There we go. We can hold E to mark it. And on our way, let's go ahead and grab technology modules. Now, one reason why you might want technology modules, early game, a lot of people say it's great money. They sell for a lot. We went to 2 things. We've got 300,000 units worth. That's pretty good money. It didn't take us very long to get that. I wouldn't recommend selling them early on. I would recommend using them, and I'll show you how to do that later. And hopefully by the end of this episode, in a few hours, we will have a few million units. And so, by using those, and it won't seem like such a big deal to not sell them early on. You are going to need a little bit of money early on, and if you absolutely can't find any other way to get money, then, it can be a good option. But otherwise, I would highly recommend farming up quite a few of them, like 40 or so, and then using them, because you're going to use it to unlock technology you can use to make a lot more money. Now, what we're doing right here, this copper node, a lot of people I've seen, they like to use the flatten tool, because you can get large amounts out at once and do something like this with the copper. That doesn't give you as much. It gives you about 10% as much. We want to be on the mine mode. And how you swap between those, on PC is the middle mouse button. The mouse wheel, you click it in, and it'll swap between this. Hopefully we can get about 200, maybe 300-ish copper. This is a pretty big copper node. And you'll see why we need this in a minute. It's to get chromatic metal. We need that for our base computer. And we're going to need that for a lot of things in the game. So, it's very, very worth it to get this early on. Then later on, we'll be going to different star systems. Pretty early, actually. Pretty early in the playthrough, we'll be going to different star systems that have different things that we can actually convert into chromatic metal. You put it in a refiner, you get chromatic metal. It's just required for a lot of recipes, so very, very useful. We got about 348. That's fantastic. Let's see, where's our ship at? Looking on the little HUD there. It's way over there. Way over there. I don't feel like going over there. Is there a technology module nearby? Yeah, it's a little closer. So I'm going to show you something. If you get too far away from your starship, as long as it has at least one launch left in its launch thrusters, you can call it to you. And how you do that, let's go ahead and get over here. What is that? Parfenium? Phosphorus. Phosphorus. Don't need that right now. Let's go ahead and grab this technology module. You can hit X and then go over to this little thing, summon vehicle. Need some flat ground, and this thing will just come right on over to you. Dude, these things are aggressive. Like, I'm just trying to chill, and they're killing my buzz. All right, now we are out of launch thruster. Don't forget to refuel it. We went over how to do that earlier. Highly recommend it. We are going to move some of this technology over to the technology panel, just so that we have extra things in our, or not things, but extra room in our ship. It's extra storage. Storage is kind of a big deal early on in this game. Let's see, what is our next thing? We're going to build our base computer, that's correct. So go hit Z, go to portable, just like you would did with the portable refiner, and you'll see a base computer. Actually, we need the portable refiner out first, because we actually have to get our chromatic metal. Go ahead and throw some fuel in there. Throw in your newfound copper. It's going to take a minute to process. We need 30 to get started, so I'll just wait on 30 real quick. And then we'll go ahead and build our base computer, and we'll just let it run in the background. There we go. Boom. Right click to get out of that. Come over here to our base computer. And there we go. Do you want to claim the site? Yes, claim base. Now we have a home planet. Yes! Home planet initialized. We are good to go. Looks like there's some ships flying by overhead. By the way, if you're curious, most times those ships will actually be flying towards a space station. There are so many aggressive species on this planet. Or maybe it's just that thing. We're not going to have to worry about them too much in a minute. Might as well kill them. Again, this leg meat and stuff is worth quite a bit of money. The feline livers and whatnot. Let's go ahead and access the base computer again now that we've claimed our site. It's going to say, hey, you don't know how to build anything. Let's fix that. So we're going to extract our plans. We're going to receive a bunch of stuff. Now you can hit Z, go to structures. That's in the bottom menu. Then wooden, and you can hit C. C as in cat to go ahead and pull this thing up. You don't have to worry about flattening the terrain with these floors. It'll flatten it for you, which is fantastic. You need to make one of those, 3 of these, 1 door frame, and 1 wooden roof. So that's going to be fantastic. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up. And now we can walk inside. You can see we stop losing life support, and we gain back our, protection from the environment. It's fantastic if you're caught out, and especially on survival or whatever, and you have enough carbon to just make a little 1x1 like this. It can be very useful for you. Very, very useful. Anyways. Base computer updated. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Housenal says, wow, what a hobo hut. Yes, it is a hobo hut. It's our first hobo hut. It's going to say you need to salvage data because you're going to be able to use this construction thing. Let's get rid of that little help menu because I am your help menu. You're going to see we need magnetized ferrite and carbon nanotubes. So let's go ahead and throw down our refiner. We are actually going to be able to fit everything we need in this little 1x1. To get magnetized ferrite, we have to put pure ferrite into a refiner, and we'll get magnetized ferrite out. We need 20 of it, so let's just go ahead and go boom, and then stop because we can't transfer it back, I don't believe. Oh yeah, we can. We can. I was incorrect. I apologize. So now that we've got that, we need carbon nanotubes as well. Let's go ahead and do that. And I believe we're going to need 4 metal plating here in a minute. and then 2 more nanotubes. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make the construction unit 1 carbon nanotube and 20 magnetized ferrite. That's fine. We have plenty of resources because we're good No Man's Sky anomalies. We're going to research anything. It doesn't matter which one you click. You can go A and D, but you're going to want to find, to go left and right in this menu, but you're going to want to find the base teleport module. You're going to want to buy it. It takes 2 of the salvage data, those little underground buried units that we found. You're going to get the biofuel reactor, even though it's really crappy. We're going to get the wiring, and if you have enough, I would recommend getting the solar panel. I do not recommend getting a battery, but I mean, you do you, boo. Next up, we're going to want to build, go right click. By the way, if you're in this menu and you can't figure out how to get out, right click to go down in the menu and go over to general. We're going to want to make this. It requires 4 metal plating, 2 carbon nanotubes, and 40 sodium. We're just going to put it against the wall kind of over here. Next thing we want to do is go to tech again, go all the way to the right to power and industry, and we're going to want to go to power. We're going to want to go to biofuel reactor. We need another metal plating, and we need extra oxygen. So we actually didn't get enough oxygen. And of course this dude's trying to kill my buzz again. Let's just get rid of him. There should be some plant or something else over here that we can harvest for oxygen. So that is kind of our mission right now. I see we got some buried technology up here. Since I don't see any oxygen around as is, might as well go that way. There's some oxygen right there actually. But hey, buried technology modules. I'll take them anytime I can. By the way, these things, a lot of times you'll only get units, but you can actually get upgrade modules from there. If you get a movement upgrade module, I don't care if it's C-class, put that sucker on your inventory because that's going to help you out a lot. Where was that oxygen at? There's oxygen. Don't know if that's enough. Do we have 30? We got 25. We might have only needed 25 actually, but I'm not sure. Since we're over here, let's go ahead and look for a hazardous plant or something. I'm actually surprised that we ran out of oxygen. I did not think that would be our limiting factor. There's some carbon over here. Let's go ahead and grab this thing. We'll find it somewhere. It'll be somewhere around here. Don't you worry. Gonna need the sodium as well, so let's go ahead and grab that. I'm not worried about that little save beacon over there. I actually don't know where any of the oxygen is on this planet. I don't see any, which is kind of an issue. That's a little bit of an issue because we can't actually make it. You know what we could do? It's possible to scan plants and they can have a secondary resource that is oxygen. That is something that you can do. It's kind of rare sometimes. This doesn't look like a very oxygenated planet. But yeah, that is one way that you can find it. And sometimes in like permadeath and survival mode, that's the only way you can get it. Sometimes, which is really horrifying. So that doesn't have it in it. That doesn't have it in it. That's okay. We'll find some oxygen sooner or later. There it is. O2. And sometimes, you know, you just get stuck on a planet that doesn't have very much zinc or oxygen. It's just, it is what it is. You just gotta deal with it. You gotta go forth and do your best. That's all we can really do. We need an advanced mining laser for that. We don't have that quite yet. We will soon enough. I feel like I'm watching a tutorial. You are watching a tutorial. It's supposed to be informational. Let's see. Back to the biofuel reactor. Let's go ahead and make it metal plating. And to be fair, this is actually the tutorial for the game. It's like the early story missions. Let's go ahead and connect that up with the wiring. If you didn't see that, you can see they've got different nodes here. It doesn't matter which one you connect to. You can connect them together, and then they are connected together. So if this thing produces energy, it'll power this thing. You can see it's red because it doesn't provide enough power for the grid. All those cables linked together makes a grid. How we want to power this, go in here. I'm only going to put like 10 carbon into here. Takes a hot minute to go back down there. 10 carbon, it's going to power for like 10 seconds. It's pretty lame. We can't go anywhere with this thing right now, but at least it's online. We can also rename our base. Don't want to right now. Supply power to the base. Okay. Now we got to supply power to the base again. I would recommend not putting all of your fuel in here at once because you don't need the base module to be powered to get back to it. But you need it powered to go through. And once you put the fuel in the biofuel reactor, you can't take it out. Let's go ahead and rename this Cairo's Hobo Hut. Hosnell out. That's for you. That's for you, mate. This is our hobo hut. This is where we are now. This is where we are going to exist for the rest of the game. We actually have a pretty cool looking helmet. Now, we're not going to exist here for the rest of the game. That was a joke. But, oh, new archives. That's right. We have to get back in the base computer one more time, and it's going to say, hey, there's a message from the space station. There's a 16 being repeated over there. And so we're going to go over there. See if I don't make the same mistake I make every playthrough whenever we get back over here. Because you have to talk to 3 aliens once you get over there. 3 aliens once you get to the space station, which looks like that, by the way. It looks the same in every galaxy. The little icon, anyways. Yes, indeed, says Hosnell out. So let's just go ahead. It's going to take us 51 seconds. Man, we are far away. We are far ways. So we got 9,000 units, but we have quite a few units in just like leg meat and albumin pearls, which is pretty lucky. If you, at this point, if you don't have any source of income, we also have, you know, feline livers, which sell for quite a bit. And we have a Gelk relic we found from one of those crates. If you don't have, you know, at least 100,000 units by this point, you can consider selling some technology salvage data. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you don't have any money at this point, I would highly recommend going ahead and doing it. And then he gets pew-pewed by the station. Yeah, I don't want to attack the station because they do send out special drones. And we have a really crappy ship right now. This is your default ship. It's always going to look like this, the Radiant Pillar. And it looks really bad. But we're going to upgrade our ship soon enough. Let's go ahead and scan this planet. We can do that with C while looking at it. You can see it has selenium, so it's probably a really hot planet. It's got copper, phosphorus, and sodium. It's not really a useful planet for us. We're not going to go visit it, but at least we can see what's on it. If there was like an activated copper or activated phosphorus or something on there, that would mean it has a high chance for extreme storms. And if it has an extreme temperature by default and extreme storms are common, then you can get storm crystals. And that is a very good early game money making. Make quite a few million units in just a very short amount of time. We didn't get that lucky. Some people do. I'm just going to fly into the space station like a retard. Don't mind me. Here we are. By the way, Hosnell out. Is the music super loud? Illuminati, yeah. Is the music super loud or is it really quiet? I can't play it back on the video without getting all kinds of weird stuff. Don't go over this way, by the way. I almost made the same mistake I just said I would always make. Always go over to this side for your first space station. Talk to 3 of these non-important people. Ask about 16. And he's going to be like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Then you come over to the second one. Ask about 16. They don't want to talk to you. And then you come to the third guy, and you repeat 16. And then they, like, get their voice. We are watching you, traveler friend. Find what we have left you. It's like, okay, I guess I'll find what you left me. And so now we should go back to our base computer, apparently. But before we do that, let's get out of that. We're going to want to go over to our terminal and sell anything that you need to get about 100,000 units. That's our goal right now, is 100,000 units. We got 161,000. We got pretty lucky with the albumin pearls. If not, I would maybe like considering selling one of these for 50,000, two of them for 100,000, whatever. We're going to buy. This is... okay, so if you have a lot of money, if you got like really lucky, buy all of that. Buy all of that. Definitely worth it. I'm going to, because I have, well, I still have over 100K. And then we're going to look around in the space station. We want to find any of these encrypted navigation data. We're going to get as much of that as we can. We're going to go over to the other place. That is a nice hauler. It's worth 40 million. You can see on the little pop-up to the left. But it's got quite a few slots. That C42 plus 6 means it has 42 slots in its regular inventory, and then 6 in its technology slot. It's a C class, so it's pretty cheap comparatively to that, you know, what that ship would normally cost if it was a better tier. We're going to go over to the exosuit upgrades. I would recommend at this point just getting a technology upgrade. But you can do UFU, fam. It really doesn't matter. Hostile Out says, nah, it's low. Kyra, I got a question. How do you add tags to your channel? So, okay. YouTube question. To add tags to your channel, you will have to go into the YouTube Studio Beta, and then you'll have to go to, I think you have to go to the Classic Studio. I can't remember exactly if you can do it from the beta, but then you go to settings on the bottom left, and then inside those settings you can edit your channel tags. So that's how you do that. Hopefully that was helpful. We're going to go over here, purchase upgrade modules. We're going to look for not life support, not protection, but the best movement module we can get. We only have 118 nanite clusters at this point. Don't fret. We'll get more soon. How you can go ahead, if you've been scanning things, this will be really good for you. Go over to your discoveries, upload all. Added 64 nanites. Now we have 182 nanites. I can't stand the default jetpack, so I always want to buy a movement module. It doesn't matter if it's C class. If I can get the A class, I would have got that. I can't, but I can get the B class, so that'll be better than nothing. Let's go ahead, and now I can show you how to install upgrades. One thing that's important for upgrades, let's go ahead and move this stuff around a little bit. One thing that's important for upgrades, and I think that went to my starship. Where did that go? Oh, okay. You hold E to install it, and if it's next to something that uses it, you'll see it has this outline. You can have up to 4. So 3 things. You can have 3 in your technology, or 4 in your technology and 3 in your general, or 3 in your general and 4 in your technology. But if you have more than 4 in the same like inventory space, like technology or general, it'll overload and they won't work. But this is going to give us a lot more jetpack tank capacity and a better recharge rate, so that's going to be fantastic. They get a bonus for being linked together like that, so that's why you want to put them together. It's fantastic. Sometimes there's navigational data right there. Then also sometimes there's some desks or tables or whatever. You can see navigational data right here. It's going to be important for us. And then there's always, at every space station, a multi-tool right here. Now, in my experience, I've seen people get S-Class, you know, alien rare multi-tools or experimental multi-tools or whatever. I always get really crappy multi-tools here, so we'll have to find out a different way to do that. If you want, you can compare. Ours is worth 56,000. That's the default. This one's worth 1 million units. If you wanted to exchange, it would subtract the difference from your current multi-tool. If you wanted to buy it, you can actually pay full price, and you can have up to 3 of them. That's really interesting. You can also modify your appearance here. We're not going to do that because I think we look pretty cool right now. But yeah, if you wanted to change how you look, that's how you do that. Now we need to go back to our base computer. We could fly there. That would take us a hot minute. But instead, we're going to go through this portal. But before we do that, since we have our technology modules, or our navigation data, go ahead and talk to this guy. Highly suggest this. Exchange maps. Buy as many of these planetary charts as you can. Apparently I can only buy one of them, which kind of sucks. You use the navigational data to actually purchase that. Apparently we only got one navigational data from all of that. That's really strange. Why did that happen? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go through the station terminus, back to our base. Hostel says, alright, thanks. I went to the settings and channel, and there is keywords. Yeah, the keywords are your channel tags, I do believe. Hostel out. Hopefully that helps you get your channel tags going. Hopefully. Now we got this nice little teleportal loading screen that's going to destroy your retinas again. We're back over here. We got to get to our base computer. Alright, select new task. Begin decryption. 161616. Traveler finds their wings. Fly to us and claim your place among the stars. Alright. So there we go. Life signs detected. We could go there, but what I'm going to do first, use this planetary chart. And hopefully what I'm looking for is an abandoned building. That's what we really want. If we don't get one, we got a freighter crash site. That's not what we wanted. And it's actually the same thing. Oh, I should have waited. I should have waited until we got over there to that freighter. But that's okay. We wasted our opportunity. But we will get to an abandoned building sooner or later, regardless, without the navigational data. That's going to take 20 seconds. Let's go ahead and hyperdrive into space, because we can go quite a bit farther very quickly. Don't mind me, I'm flying drunk, it looks like. That actually didn't save us very much time because I way overshot it. That's okay. Let's just go to the possible distress signal, and we're going to see a giant crashed freighter. This is going to be where we get our hyperdrive blueprint from. We're actually going to have to make the hyperdrive, and we need 125 chromatic metal for that. Oh, I forgot. If you... oh, well. You could have bought 5 microprocessors from the space station, but I always end up going back to the space station anyways, so I don't really think it's that big of a loss. Go ahead and access this thing. MS Wings of the Anomaly. Partial records available. Somebody left a normal hyperdrive blueprint for us, so that's kind of mysterious since freighters use a different hyperdrive. But we got it. We got the materials for the chromatic metal, at least. How you would do this, go to your technology. You can also do it in your general slots, which we're going to have to. We're going to install technology, install the hyperdrive. We'll go ahead and throw in the chromatic metal. We need the microprocessor units. Those are kind of expensive. I'd also recommend having a look around these freighters. You'll see this sign for the cargo pods. You can use a mining beam to get through any of the scrap metal there, and then it'll have something. This one takes 10 chromatic metal and 10 sodium to repair. And then as soon as you grab this cargo pod, leave. Like, dip out, because it'll destroy your radioactive protection. But you can get some pretty good stuff here, like 50k units sometimes. What happened? Yeah, I didn't think we don't have enough chromatic metal for that, unfortunately. So those are all going to have the same unlock, and sometimes it's really cheap and sometimes it's not. So just be aware of that. Let's go ahead now and go back to our base. That way we can get to our... Am I out of fuel? No. We should be able to take off. There we go. Let's go ahead and go back to our base. That way we can use our terminal to go back to the space station. Where is our base at? Right over here. There we go. Hustle Out said, alright, it worked. Hey, you know those SE DLCs? Well, the devs added different skin sets to the DLCs. That's pretty neat. So over here... Is that abandoned? I don't think this is abandoned. If this was abandoned, I'd land at it, but I'm not really worried about the inhabited space stations right now. Got a lot of ground to cover I want to get to on our first stream. So I'm going to skip that for now. Normally, that wouldn't be a bad place to go check out. But right now, again, just kind of want to do our thing and get a little farther along so that we can get a good starship. I want to at least get a decent starship in this episode. So since it took us so long to go back to the space station by flight, I'm just going to power this thing for a couple seconds. Use 10 carbon again because I'm cheap. Then we're just going to activate this. It doesn't matter if it runs out of fuel while you're selecting, and then you can go to it'll say current system, and that's your space station. You don't have to worry about teleporting to the same teleportal, if that makes sense. Those things are floating. Thought maybe I could access them again. So anyways, we're going to have to go in here now. We're going to have to buy 5 microprocessors. And that's for our hyperdrive. 95K. That's why we needed the 100K, by the way. Now then, let's go ahead in our starship. We have it installed in the general slots. Let's go ahead and put the microprocessors in. We already put our chromatic metal. Just go ahead and mine some copper. If you're having trouble finding it, maybe hop to a different planet. And now it's like, hey, good job, but you don't have fuel, mate. And I'm like, you're right. I don't have fuel. Help me fix that. It doesn't take launch fuel to take off from a space station, by the way, or a launch pad. So now it'll say scan with C, but you actually have to be out of the station. So if you don't want to have to wait on the cooldown, go ahead and get out first. Give it a couple seconds, and then go ahead and scan. It'll say, hey, antimatter trace detected, target locked. Now we'll find this thing. Luckily, it's not forever away. Take us 2 hours to get there if we couldn't use our little pulse engine, but we can, so it's only going to take us 45 seconds. That's a lot better deal than 2-hour flight. I'm good. I don't really feel like, you know, watching a movie while I wait on my character to go over there. That'd take a while. Creature pellets. I haven't actually messed around with attracting creatures and taming them, but I know it's something you can do. We got an antimatter housing. We don't know how to build it yet, but we are getting ready to go learn how to. They streamlined this process a lot better than whenever the game first came out. So I want to talk about a little bit about No Man's Sky on release. Expectations versus reality was terrible. A lot of, like, you guys probably know, a lot of people went ahead and, like, returned the game. They never picked it up again. They were like, this game was terrible, and you guys should feel terrible. And it was. I agree with them. But since then, it's been 4 years, but it's finally at a place where I would say, if it had released like this, it probably would have been good. Now, that is fantastic. We have 2 abandoned facilities right next to each other. Ooh, okay, this is fantastic. This is great. That's a gem if I've ever seen one. And now, this is going to be kind of dangerous, what we're getting ready to do. You can go in there, you can do your thing, grab the antimatter trace, that's fine. This will always be at an abandoned building. I'm going to swap to my terrain manipulator. I'm going to go down inside this thing a little bit. I'm going to do something like that, and we're going to be good. Now, I'm going to go into build mode. We're going to make wooden walls. I think I've got plenty of carbon for this. We're just going to kind of put these walls haphazardly around these things. That way we can fly into them. Because whenever we start mining these things, and we want these things really badly, whenever we start mining these, monstrosities are going to come out of the ground, and they're going to try to mess up our day. And we don't really want our day messed up, so... Yeah, TLDR, you'll want to cover these things up. The first one, we're going to not really have any protection against them. But all the ones after that, we're going to have these walls around. If you don't have the walls, you can just dig out a space underneath. You might die. Like, they can actually do quite a bit of damage, especially early on whenever you don't have protections. There we go. But if you just build these walls around it, it's kind of cheesy. But honestly, I think it's the best way to go about it. Gather these eggs. And you can always take these walls back down. They do cost 25 carbon each. So let's go ahead and do this, and you'll see these things pop out of the ground. Biological horrors detected. And we just got flung across the freaking galaxy. And unfortunately, we missed one of those things. Gotta kind of be on the move when you do this, because otherwise they'll hit you. They'll knock you all over the place. You can kill them, but they do come back, so don't really know if it's worth it. Now, these ones actually haven't hit me. They will spit at you. You can get up top, but these things kind of go away pretty quick. You'll see that they can't actually get me inside these walls, so that's why we wanted to build the walls around, just to make this process a little faster. Go ahead. Oh, there's actually quite a few more eggs here than I thought there were. And why we want these eggs are they're worth 50 nanite clusters each. And that's big money for us. That means we can do a lot of things that we need to do. We can make a lot of money. You can also sell them for cash, but again, would highly recommend just converting them into nanite units. Cash is something that, like, you think, oh, I need a crap ton of that. But realistically, you don't. Let's go ahead and go to this, because I can't find our larval core. I guess that one disappeared. That kind of sucks. They are chasing us, so let's go ahead and grab... Ooh, that was kind of scary. Monk S. Don't kill me! Okay, where's the entrance to this building? I want in. Let me in! Okay. So it's a little safer in here. A little bit. They can still shoot you from in here. So be aware of that. I'm going to go in here where they don't have line of sight. They can't get inside the building. I don't believe. I've never seen them able to do that. Let's go ahead and use our build camera to go out here and take these down. You can hold left control and then click on building structures like that. You actually get all of the materials back for it, so that's really, really, really nice. He says, dang it, Cairo, why you cheat? I don't cheat, dude. I play the game. This is part of the game. Saying I'm cheating. We don't cheat. We make use of the game mechanics. This is part of being a well-prepared traveler. But if you die, it's not a big deal. You will respawn by your starship. The biggest issue is just, you know, having to get your stuff back. It's kind of a pain, but it's not really that big of a deal. What just happened? Something hit me. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead. They're probably all going to pop up inside of here. It's kind of terrifying. Now, though, we can go ahead and grab these without fear. Where does that one go? What happened? So maybe we will just go ahead and go to Terrain Manipulator and do something like this. Life support's offline. Oh, that's not good. Let's go ahead and throw a little bit of oxygen in there. Get back to our mining beam. I know for a fact if you mine out from underneath them, this is the first time I've actually used the wall method. Usually I just mine out from underneath them. They can still attack you in here, and they'll usually, if they hit you, they like launch you across the universe. It's kind of terrifying, especially if you don't have jetpack left. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh, he definitely got through that wall. It's kind of strange. Maybe they can fit through the walls now. I don't know. But he definitely just walked through that. Can we just... Oh. Not like this. Okay, whatever. We got plenty of those things. I'll show you what we do with those to get nanites in just a minute. Let's go ahead and plop down our portable refiner. We're going to need some fuel. So, no, cheating. Not cheating. I do not consider that cheating. If you're having to glitch things out unintended from the game, then I would consider that cheating. I would not consider this cheating, but I mean, I guess you do you, Bu. If you think it's cheating, then it's fine. I'm not going to argue with it on it. But anyways, you can use those to get nanite clusters. It makes it a little bit easier. I mean, you can do it without that. It's a little bit more annoying. Again, if you die, you don't even lose your stuff. So again, I don't really think there's a point to not doing this if you have the resources. Part of being a prepared traveler, in my opinion. But that's okay. So now back to the storyline. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the residual gump. And it's going to be like, hey, yo, you need to learn how to make antimatter. You need to learn how to make that so that you can make your hyperdrive fuel. So we're going to take the blueprint. We're good to go. Get a bunch of 16s. And we're just going to explore the rest of this little place over here. No, like duplication glitches and stuff, I would consider that cheating. That's unintended, and those are really hard to patch out. So even though they haven't been patched, I wouldn't say no, duplication glitch is not cheating. But putting walls up, you know, using your resources to better yourself, I wouldn't consider that cheating. I don't think it takes away from the game. So we need chromatic metal, we need condensed carbon to make antimatter, and we can combine that with a antimatter housing to go ahead and get our stuff. The swarm has subsided, so we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and save and chart this place. Then we're going to look for another what's it called? Copper deposit. That one's 800 units away. That one's 600 units away. That's a little closer. 300 units. That's a lot better. Fantastic. And there's another abandoned building over there. We are going to go check that one out. I'll do that one without the walls, just so you guys can see another method of doing it. If you guys feel like that's a cheaty way, that's fine. You don't have to do that. I have another method for you. But definitely would recommend going to them at least and collecting those larval eggs. That is a good play, my friends. Because we are going to be building a farm later on. That'll probably be in episode 2. Looking at the time on this recording. I do plan on doing a live stream, hopefully for this. My intention for this series is every Sunday we'll be doing a live stream. So hopefully you guys can look forward to that. If it's something you're enjoying. I outsmarted the game, but it's an intended mechanic. That's the thing. Is they allow you to build walls and stuff outside of your base range so that you can make shelters to protect you from hazards, rather it be environment, from like storms and things, or it be animals or horrors in this case. So I don't think it's cheating, but I mean, it's subjective. It is subjective. It's whatever you think is cheating. Don't do it, because that'll ruin your gameplay experience. That's how I view games. If you think something is cheating, don't do it, just because it's not going to be fun anymore. It's no fun to buy a movie ticket, go to the movies, get some popcorn, watch the last 20 minutes of the movie. There's no point in that. So if you feel like it's doing something like that for your experience, definitely don't do it. But again, I will show you another way to do that. Let's see. What do we need for our antimatter? How many of these? We need 25. So we got plenty here. It's almost done, so let's just go ahead and let it do its thing. We got more stuff we can gather anyways, more carbon. Excuse me. That's why you always want to have a lot of carbon. It takes 25 carbon for a wall. It's not like it's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap either. That thing is not friendly. Those physics, though. Those physics, though. All right, fantastic. Let's go back to our ship. And go to that other abandoned facility, which was just over here. Just over here somewhere. Right there, it looks like. I do believe it's abandoned. It might not be abandoned, actually, now that I'm looking at it. I really hope it is. The horrors aren't actually all that scary. They're more so just annoying. Very, very annoying. They can kill you. In permadeath, it would be more scary. Yes, this is an abandoned building. Oh, man. We need oxygen in a bad way, actually. And just so happens that is oxygen over there. Let's go grab that oxygen before we get started on this. Go ahead. Recharge our life support systems. We're looking pretty good now. What I would recommend, if you're going to do it this way, dig down a little bit. And do this underneath every single one of the eggs, because otherwise there's a good chance they just fall through the ground and despawn, which is pretty annoying. This won't protect you from the horrors at all. They'll still get down there, and it can actually be more deadly, so maybe on permadeath mode, be careful of this. There is a way to do it underground where you're completely protected and you can get everything. I don't know how to do it, but I've seen people do it. I would consider that cheating. I would consider that cheating. That's why I've never really gone to the trouble of learning how to do that one. But again, it is a thing, so if you do want to do that, maybe look up a guide on that. Again, I don't know how to do that one, so I can't show you. But we can just go ahead and do this so that they don't fall down. Then we can go ahead and do that. I would recommend doing one and then going up top. They're going to like try to shoot stuff at you, and that's fine. Maybe do like 3 or 4 at a time. And then just come pick these up. They will come around, so don't think you're safe just because you're on the other side of the building. But again, they're not that scary. They're really not that scary. They do a bit of damage, but even with the default, you know, shields and stuff, you're pretty good for the most part. These things do despawn pretty quickly after they are dropped, so that's why you don't want to just mine all of them out at once and then try to collect them. Again, these guys aren't all that scary. They just kind of run around. They'll shoot at you every now and then. They'll jump at you every now and then, but their AI is kind of messy. This is actually faster than doing it the other way, so maybe you should do it this way. Oh, they're down in here now. Hello, mate. Just jump out of the way and we're good to go. And I think we got all of them. So there we go. We did it without, quote-unquote, outsmarting the game. We just did it basically, again, as intended. And we got a lot more nanite clusters. Those nanite clusters are really important for us. So this was a really good find, finding the second little thing here. Unfortunately, I wish we could do more than 5 at a time in these little refiners, but we can't. Well, that's 250 nanites per stack of 5, so definitely worth your time. Definitely worth your time here. And again, you can find these by, you know, trading in those planetary charts. There's other ways as well. That's just the method I always use. Let's get some ferrite dust from this thing. I'm not really worried about it. We're going to get lots of money. We're going to be able to buy all the ferrite dust we need. It's one of those things like you need it early on, and then later on you'll have so much of it that, you know, you're good. Unless you're building like a massive base project, that can require quite a lot of ferrite dust because it costs per... Ooh, we got a good protection module. That would have been nice out there. Returning user identified. What are we going to get? We're going to get something. Analyze data log. So what do we get? We get some nanites. We got some nanites. We got a lot of nanites from that. Pulse engine module. Extremely powerful upgrade for a starship. We can sell this for nanites. And since it's not S tier, I'm actually going to end up selling it. Let's go ahead and use that. Get rid of that. We'll sell the raw steak. Alright, fantastic. Now, make sure these horrors are gone. Let's go ahead and make our antimatter. We need condensed carbon. Let's go ahead and throw down our personal refiner. Once again, it's like the most useful tool out there. Let's go ahead and make some condensed carbon. Like I said, we needed 20. We're going to make all of it that we can. Let's see. Antimatter. We already made antimatter housing, but it's going to make us make another one unless we allow that little prompt to go through. So now we can make a warp cell. And we're good to go. Now we can pick this up. We can call our starship. Might as well make the most of our little time we have here. Oh, okay, so this is a good find too. You can actually get some good stuff from here. Navigation data. Oh, hello. Where did you come from? Come here often? There we go. Grabbing these, you can get navigation data. Again, you can use that to trade in for planetary charts, which is fantastic. I was just coming over to this little patch of sodium-rich plants. Might as well. I mean, it's right here, right? There we go. And we got some condensed carbon crystals as well. Might as well take that. Carbon's one of those things that it's kind of hard to find to buy a lot of times. You can buy it in certain systems, but it's not something you can just always find. That's why I always say, you know, mine the carbon. Now we're going to recharge our hyperdrive with the warp cell. Hyperdrive refueled. It's going to give you a little tutorial on the galactic map. You can hit X, go over to this little swirly thing. That's your galaxy map. We can always come back to this star system if we leave our teleporter and everything here. So that's why you have that little like base icon there. If we're going towards the center of the galaxy, you can see up at the top left, Destination Galactic Core. You can scroll through, free explorer, and you can get some other custom waypoints. And you can filter this for life points, economy, conflict, but we don't have an economy or a conflict scanner right now. So we're just going to go ahead and go over here. We can see it's a GEC system. We know that by the little GEC icon underneath the star system whenever we select it. I have this nice little loading screen of us going through to our first new hop. Might as well go ahead and scan your planets. Oh, starship monitoring system. Hyperdrive error. Warp fuel depleted. Yes, we are out of warp fuel. We could just make more, but it decides you need to actually go find it in 16 KLS. So we're going to accept the guidance for the fuel source. And so it's going to take us somewhere. This is a lifeless planet. We don't really want to go on there if we don't have to. What I would really like to do, first time I visit a place, is always just go visit the station. You can get another exosuit upgrade at every single one of these stations as long as it's not an abandoned one. And you can see what kind of stuff they have on the market. How high is the chance of a SE series? If I can get it working, probably high. It looked like a game I really would like. So after I get around to reinstalling Windows, which I really don't want to do, but I will end up doing, you know, that's whenever that'll probably come out. I'm looking forward to that. I'm honestly looking forward to that a lot. Alright, so we have some stuff we can sell. We can sell the raw steak. Drop pod coordinate data. We could use that, but I'm just going to sell it because it's taking up my space and I don't really want to use it right now. You'd have to repair the drop pod, which could be pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I don't want that. It's in my inventory. Viking effigy, we don't need that. So we're just using this opportunity to kind of clean out our inventory of things we don't want. You can see up here we have 2,800 nanite clusters. That's quite a few. We have almost 200,000 units, which is fantastic. I'm going to keep my gold and silver. Let's see if we can buy anything. Again, if you have spare money, just buy the ferrite dust. You're going to use it. Also, buy the sodium. Buy the oxygen. It's going to make traveling on planets so much nicer. There's nothing else in there I really want. Let's go check the other side. Was there something on the table here? No. Okay. You can talk to these guys, by the way, and like learn words and stuff. I'm not really too worried about it, personally. I've learned like 400 words on my main main playthrough so far. This is going to be our new main playthrough. That's our goal anyways. But yeah, let's go ahead and get another technology upgrade, because I can use that to upgrade our jump packs and everything without taking up space in our inventory. So we have an S-Class movement module here. I'm buying that. Highly recommend. If you have the nanites, get this. That's going to make travel so much easier. So since this is kind of getting crazy up here, and we have 3 modules we want to put in. Where did they go? It's right here. We're going to go ahead and install this right next to here. That way they all get the boost. So that one's plus 114 jetpacks. This is plus 201 jetpack tanks. So we basically have, 4 times the jetpack. Because this is 100%, this is another 100%, and this is 200%. So we have 400 worth of jetpacks. We're going to go ahead and refuel that while we're thinking about it in the inventory. I'm going to also show you how to sell these modules. You can sell these to any of them. This is the Exocraft guy. We have a Starship module. It doesn't matter. You can go to purchase upgrade modules, sell, and it'll show you only the ones you have. This A class is worth 306 nanite clusters. I don't really want it since it's not S class on my Starship. So, worth. Nanite clusters are what you're going to use. You can always check that. I don't usually get anything good, like we already said. Got some more navigational data on this place, but we're only getting nanite clusters from a lot of them, so that's kind of disappointing, but that's a-okay, honestly. We did everything at the space station. Let's go ahead and go back to our what's it called? Our little quest marker over here. This is going to be a fuel source, and I do believe this might be our first crashed ship. This might be. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while. It's It's actually not been that long. But it's been like since last night that I went this far. I was playing with my little brother last night, and I was like, you know what? Making a new series, playing Domain, would be really cool on No Man's Sky. Hostile Out says, well, see you, man. Have a good time playing No Man's Sky. NMC, I'll be off to play with a friend. Thanks for the great time. Thank you, Hostile, for coming and having a chat and coming and view. I hope you have a fun time with your friend, and hopefully I can get Space Engineers working relatively soon, within the next week or two, and we can hang out on that. That'll be a lot of fun. We are arriving at our fuel source. Might as well scan the planet. I don't think that actually allows us to scan it like we do from space and get all the information. Oh, we got something over here. Something's over there. That's fine. It's another one of these. We're getting really weird spawns with things being like right next to each other, duplicates of the same thing. I mean, that's a thing that can happen. But I don't usually see that. These knowledge stones, the first one you get to, it's going to have this really annoying thing where you can't read anything. It's like it resonates with you. It takes shape. It has all this weird stuff, and you just accept the knowledge, and then after that you don't have to do that to all of them. I don't know why they do that with the first one, but then afterwards you go up to them, and it's always going to give you a word for the language of the type of system you're in. So if it's Vy'keen, it'll give you a Vy'keen word. If it's Gek or Korvax, it'll give you Gek or Korvax, etc. Is it Traveler? Is it Friend? It doesn't matter what you pick here. I'm going to pick it's Traveler. Next thing, it forms another question. Is it first? Is it last? We're number 1, so we're first. And it's going to ask if the Crimson Eye has seen you or has it seen us, and if we've seen it. I'm just going to say both. Again, it really doesn't matter. It's going to do the same thing. The boundaries fall, the walls collapse. Traveler, find us. So it gives us a warp cell. Now we're going to make our way into space. And you might think, oh, okay, so we can just jump again. I would recommend against that. I would wait. Maybe stop in an asteroid field for a second, if that's your thing. It's up to you what you do with your time. But yeah, it's going to give you this little incoming frequency. We're going to identify ourselves just to skip some of the dialogue. We're going to tell them sorry. Ask who they're speaking to. And they just go silent. We're like, what the heck? Oh, okay, so this rainy planet right here says Ancient Bones. That's really good. If you want to go over there and search for that, that's a good source of money. Some of them can be worth over 1 million units each, which is fantastic. Travel to the stranger's coordinates. And for some reason, it switches back to base computer archives. We want this thing. Now we have our little marker here. It's actually down here. And it is on this rainy planet with Ancient Bones. So let's go ahead and hop over there. Been live for an hour and 25 minutes. I think hopefully we can get our Indium drive completed by the end of this episode. I don't want to spend too much time. I want to make this way long, but maybe around 2 hours. 2 hours sounds like a good length of time for an episode. Good amount of progress can be made in 2 hours if you're focusing on, you know, what matters. So here we go, Stranger's coordinates. We arrive in 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Just kidding. Since we start going slower and slower, the closer we get to this, the timers don't actually work. I wish they would fix that, but, you know, they don't. So it is what it is. So we have our first crashed ship here. It's a C-class worth like very little money. Kind of annoying, but that's okay. It's just free money for us. Sometimes you'll get some that are worth quite a bit more. Let's go ahead and grab the damaged machinery while we're here. Ah. There we go. Grab the buried technology module that's always here. We're going to need those in just a second. And then we're going to do this thing. There are no signs of life. We're going to extract the records. Tells you about Artemis, and then we get a advanced mining laser blueprint. We're going to craft that later. We're not too worried about that right now. You can interact with this crashed starship here. Hopefully you guys have a better one than me. But this is fine. This is fine. We're going to compare it. This one's worth 590 to our 385. It's only worth around 100K right now. It's really probably not worth me fixing up. But I have the stuff for it, so I might as well. I'll show you guys how to do that process. We're just going to claim the ship. So now we have both of them. We have an S-class launch system recharger. I'm going to dismantle that. We're going to get some antimatter. That's pretty nice. Cobalt mirror might sell for a pretty penny. And I don't think we can actually... Yeah, we can't break anything else. But now we have to repair... We got to make a hermetic seal and a... metal plating, and then a dihydrogen jelly. We have our pure ferrite dust. Let's go ahead and make our dihydrogen jelly. Let's make our carbon nanotube. Let's make our metal plating. Boom. We got to make a hermetic seal. That actually just, we don't have to have this thing. That was a waste. That's okay. Let's use the dihydrogen jelly. Let's use the hermetic seal. And now we can fly this thing. It's not great. It's not a great ship for us. Even if you get a good one, I would recommend, unless it's just like the ship you want, you can fix it and upgrade it if you want. But I would recommend just scrapping this one, and I'll show you how to do that. Ooh, that's loud. That is loud, buddy. Let's go ahead and go to the space station. Artemis is going to contact us. I'm going to wait to contact them until we get out of the space station. Sometimes it can get a little buggy. So let's go ahead and land this bad boy. Make sure there's nothing in here that you want. Since we just claimed this and we didn't trade the ship in, or exchange the ship, I think is the term they use, then we still have both ships. You'll come to the Starship outfitting, you'll see, make sure it's the new one you picked up. Make sure you don't have your old ship there. Otherwise, you need to select the old ship. Let's claim scrap worth 206,000 units. And it's going to say, warning, stuff will be destroyed. And we're like, yeah, that's fine. We're going to claim all the scrap. We're going to get that in our inventory as long as we have enough room. And then we'll see our Starship. We got our Radiant Pillar back. And it is now over here. You don't have to worry about being stranded or anything like that. Now, what, So we got some more technology modules. Might as well sell them for some nanites. They're not great. If you got, like, an S-Class ship, you could get, like, S-Class modules from this. But we just got C-Class. I'm not really concerned with C-Class upgrades. They're not great. And then you can go over there to sell your stuff. The scrap that you get. But there's also the same terminal over here. So let's go ahead and go here and sell thermal panels worth 900k or 99k. We got our cobalt mirror we also got from that. We got a handful of cogs. Once useful springs. Some of it's worth a lot, some of it's not worth very much, but it's all worth selling because, you know, units are units. So we got a little bit of money. Reinforced piping. That seems like another thing. There's probably something I'm missing here. Maybe not. Usually you'll get a few million units from that. Unfortunately, we got kind of gypped. We got a crappy C-Class ship. But I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you don't. That's just how it is. And that is a nice looking hauler for 20 million. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get back to the story mission so we can make some serious money so we can afford something like this. I really like that look of ship. That's probably my second favorite ship type. So let's go ahead and use the communicator. You can hit X just like you go into your galactic map. We're going to tell Nada the truth here. And he's going to pull up the multiplayer hub. This is the space anomaly. And you can actually summon this from the X menu in any galaxy now, which is really nice. Used to, you would just have a chance of finding these things. But now, since they added actual multiplayer to the game, you'll see there's a ton of people in here. All those little white dots are people. That's crazy. This is just the center of attention, guys. And you can see all these spaceships are not NPCs. These are actual players. So now that we are here, let's see if we can do this efficiently. Because efficient is my middle name. Not actually, but, I mean, it should be. If we run up here and jump about right here, we have a good enough jetpack we can actually make it up this way. PogChamp. Talk to Priest into the Nada. And you're going to have to talk to him about everything. Ask about Artemis, Nada, Polo, and the space anomaly. Or station, I guess they call it. He'll tell you some cool stuff about it. So we're just going to go ahead and skip through all this. Don't want to bore you guys with all of the story. Some people like it, some people don't. So I'm just going to leave the story to anybody that wants to play the game. That's how I'm going to handle that. And then we have to go talk to Polo next. He's going to tell you that you can always find a trace for your friend Artemis. Then it's going to say explore the space station. Do some cool stuff. So what we're going to do is, firstly, for our mission, come over here, talk to this chick, or guy, or plant. I don't know what this guy is. Some kind of traveler. We're going to give him data for our planets. He's going to give us a few nanite clusters. It's not going to be a crazy amount, like 120. That's pretty good. Then you're going to come over here. Might as well. If you have milestone data, you can exchange it here. Otherwise, you can use Gravitino balls, storm crystals, things like that. So that gives you quite a bit more, 320. You can customize your appearance here again. I don't remember what... Oh, no, those people just talk to you. There's nothing there. And so the really important part, the reason we got our nanite clusters earlier on, the reason we farmed all those larval cores and converted them is right here. we're going to want to go ahead and not buy any of these. I mean, you can buy them if you want. We got the nanites for it. We got 3K nanites right off the rip, which is pretty good. You just got to talk to them for the mission. Right here is the one we want. You're going to go to technology, and now you're going to see there's, or not technology, we're going to go to industrial, and you're going to see there's a lot more to this than we could find at our base. So we're going to unlock solar panels. We're going to have to farm some salvage data. We need an electromagnetic generator. We need a supply depot. So that's 10, 20, 30, because we have to go down this. 31 right there. And honestly, that's all we're really going to need is 31 technology modules. 31 more. So, I don't know. You guys can do the math. I'm not a math expert. But, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, and that's all we're going to need to make millions and millions and millions of units right off the rip. Right here is a star system upgrade. You use your nanites here. This is why we farm the nanites. You need your cadmium drive. You need your emerald drive. And it'll kick you out after you complete your mission. And then you need the indium drive. One abandoned building should be enough to get you all of those. And then you can purchase other things if you want. I know a lot of people like certain weapons. I like the photon cannons. I think they're fine, personally. But, I mean, they are what they are. Fission thrusters will make you use a lot less starship fuel for your launch thrusters. Teleport modules, probably worth getting. And then the other thing I would buy is the economy scanner. We're going to want the economy scanner eventually anyways. Conflict scanner, if you like ship combat, you can kind of get that. Or if you're in permadeath mode, it might be kind of useful. This is for exocrafts. We don't really need this. Always a free multi-tool here. Or not free, but, you know, a multi-tool here. I always get bad ones. I don't know why. And then over here we get our multi-tool upgrades. We are going to want to purchase Waveform Recycler that we're not actually going to really use too much. I mean, you can if you want, but it's B tier. I wouldn't install it too much unless you don't have anything better. And then a surveying device. If you can, go ahead and get the optical drill. That's a great improvement for the multi-tool. It'll give you 50% more resources that you mine, which is great. Great, great, great. But that's all we're going to need. That's all we're going to need for our farm, basically. We're going to have to go get technology modules later on. I'll show you around a little bit more. Over here is a teleporter. You can access, you know, all kinds of community-built farms and bases and all kinds of stuff. The Iron Giant community highlights. So all kinds of stuff is on here. It's really cool. If you guys want to check that out, feel free. Whenever you get into multiplayer like that, or if you go to the Nexus right over here and grab a mission, which I'm about to explain, we need to go talk to somebody. If you go over here to the Nexus, let's just do this real quick. You can actually participate in multiplayer missions. And we haven't unlocked that yet, so that's why we have to go talk to the people. But there's missions that just kind of rotate through. They'll give you rewards. They'll give you Quicksilver, too, if you want to use that to buy, you know, different helmets and stuff. But that's how you go ahead and do that. What do we need from here? I don't know what it's telling us to buy. Learn electromagnetic generator. Okay, so we do need some of those, actually, before we can do too much. So let's go ahead and go farm up some technology modules. If there is a planet that says technology module as a resource, that means that there's quite a few there, so they're pretty dense. So it'll be a lot quicker to gather on that type of system. Hopefully, we'll have one like that. That would be a big help to us. That's a lifeless planet. We don't really want to go on a lifeless planet. There's not going to be much oxygen or anything around on that. Okay, let's get away from the space anomaly. We can just summon it over there. It's kind of in our way. That has ancient bones on it. What's this one over here have? Gotta wait on our scanner to recharge. It doesn't have technology modules, and it's got high sentinel activity. We'll go to here. It's got ancient bones anyways, so I don't remember how many we said we needed of these technology modules, but we're just going to go grab a bunch of them. Just going to farm them for a little bit. Kind of a pretty planet. I like this, actually. I always like the lush or rainy planets. Both of them are just wonderful. Honestly. Honestly wonderful. Those are the natural burial sites. Those have the bones in them. If you guys are interested in collecting those for units, we'll grab them as we go by. Let's make sure our starship has fuel in there, which it does. And let's go ahead and get rid of some of our extra stuff like this. We don't need that. It's not going to come in handy at all. Navigational data also. Actually, navigational data can come in handy. We're not going to need it, but it can come in handy. We don't have very much oxygen, apparently. Do we have the oxygen in our starship? Yes, we do. Okay. Go ahead and put the sodium, the oxygen, and the ferrite dust in our exosuit. Then we'll go on. We even have some more oxygen right here. These planets are really nice to go ahead and explore on. We have some buried technology modules over here. So let's just crack on with it, shall we? We do have 2 viewers right now. I want to say a big thank you to you guys for sticking around, hanging out. If there's any questions you have about No Man's Sky, I may be able to answer them. I know a fair bit. I'm not going to say I know everything. But if I don't know, I can maybe find out for you. Go ahead and scan all these. Figure out where we need to go next. I don't see any more buried technology modules, so let's just go to a burial site. Hopefully by the time we get over there, we'll see, you know, more technology modules. Man, we're already able to move a lot better with just that S-Class and B-Class upgrade. Was it B-Class? I can't even remember. Yeah, B and S-Class. We got a BS-Class upgrade on our jump chute. Oh, journey accomplished. We got new milestone data. Learn 5 words. So we could actually go turn that in for nanite clusters if we were being like super efficient at the space anomaly. This is a really pretty game though. Another milestone, traveling 8,000 units. Not worried about collecting oxygen at this point since we are able to buy it. Even though we've not been super lucky on, you know, unit things like the spaceship, we still got enough to buy what we needed. So we got these ancient bones over here. Let's just go ahead and grab them. That one's worth like 100k or something. That one's not worth a lot either. One right here. Ooh, that one's rare. That's okay. We really want the gold one, so that's 700, 800. So we got like a little over 800k in bones already, which is fantastic. They don't stack in your inventory, unfortunately. There's a buried technology module over there. We do want to focus on the buried technology modules. But, I mean, it is really, really, really good money. Ooh, get a little bit of frame lag here. I don't know why. That's okay. We are going to go ahead and go all the way over here. Now, I couldn't get a running start at that, so that's why we didn't go very far. But it was still faster than walking, so I'll take it. There's another Deridium-rich plant right here. Hopefully, we'll find another technology module within range right here. Why can't we get this? There we go. Sometimes it's a little glitchy. We got another one over here, 300 units away. This one's 200 units away, and then this one is 142 units away. Wow. Okay, so we got quite a few over here. So let's go ahead and grab this one. There should be another one right over here. Really not hard to find. Yeah, pro tip, if you need to get rid of like a hazardous plant or whatever that's annoying you, you don't want to mine it out, just use the terrain manipulator underneath it. Gets rid of it pretty quickly. Thought I seen the Deridium rich plant over here, but I guess not. Plenty of oxygen to be had on this planet. It's a very green planet. Generally speaking, if the planets are green, there's a lot of oxygen on them. Plants are going to be rich in one type of resource usually, rather it be ferrite dust or oxygen or carbon or whatever it is. It's going to be rich in at least one resource in my experience. So we need to recharge our life support. Got a Deridium rich plant. Make our way 100 units this direction in no time. Fantastic. Kind of close to a burial site. 700 units away. It seems like unless you're going towards them, I'm always, like 800 units away from them. But it's not really an issue. Not really an issue. Let's go ahead and make our way that way, though. Unless we find another technology module, which we don't. There is one up over here. 174 units away. That's closer. And it's on the way. So might as well take advantage. Might as well. I do feel like this is an opportunistic game. So anytime you get, an opportunity like that, take it. It's worth going after. The cool thing about multiplayer now is if you have a friend added on Steam, they can just join in on your session now. They don't have to, go like find you on a planet or something. And you'll have a waypoint marker between you and them at all times so that you guys can find each other. And if you go to a different star system, you can see which star system each other are at. Like, they actually did a really good job on the multiplayer now. Whenever it was first implemented, whenever it was first released, the game, it didn't actually have multiplayer in it. They said it did, and it didn't. They straight up lied to us. But then once they implemented it, it had a lot of issues. Let's go ahead and grab that. Why not? It had a lot of issues, but they've really outdone themselves, I feel like. I feel like they've done a really good job since then. So here we go. We got some more ancient bones. Ooh, rare item. Fantastic. Great, great, great. There's some health there if we were running low on health, which we are not. Another technology module over there. That's not very far away either. I think we're going to go for this and then the technology module. Sounds like a good plan to me anyways. How many technology modules do we actually have? That's the question. We have 12. Hopefully the frames on the recording aren't all that bad. If it is really bad, let me know and I'll see if I can get it resolved. I can't actually see the live recording, so that's why I didn't know things were going funky earlier. But things were definitely going funky. We got some weird looking creatures over here. Like, what is that? What is that? It's a J. bismupitus. That's what it is. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a bismupitus. Close enough. How many of these do we need? Like 40? I think we needed 40. A jettison pod. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and summon our ship. I don't see any more of these around. There we go. If I can hit the right button. Wait, cannot land here. There we go. We're getting full on our inventory. We've got 16 of the things we need. We're going to transfer all of these to our starship, I do believe. And we're also going to put this in our starship because they can actually stack up to 30 in there, which is a lot better. And now we're just going to like go. I'm just going to go up into space and come back down to the planet. That way we're in a fresh spot. So we can get another 10 or so. Excuse me. You can travel quite a few units very, very quickly in your ship. So if you're having a hard time finding new things, definitely worth, you know, using a little bit of thruster fuel in your starship. In my opinion. As long as you can make more. If you're having a hard time making your thruster fuel, maybe that changes for you. We've still got 25%, so we can call it to us, and then we can make some more after that. Let's look around. We got some natural burial site. Do we have any? That one's even farther away. We got a technology module over here. Fantastic. Fantastic. Hopefully this will be a long-term series. I like this type of game. And then again, if you know, I can get space engineers working like Hosnell was saying, then we might do a joint videos on that, which would be kind of fun, in my opinion. All right, let's go back over here to this thing. Oh, another technology module. Fantastic. Ouch. Those plants are everywhere, man. They're everywhere. If we could get 6 movement modules, that would be awesome. Then we could get the recycler for these things. Because there's actually an upgrade you can get. Man, we are just moving so fast the game's having a hard time keeping up. I think that's what's going on. I think this game also has a memory leak. So it could be that we just, since we've been playing for a while, it's starting to bog down my computer a bit. But man, it's getting kind of framey, isn't it? Getting kind of framey. I'll have to fix that before next stream. Oh. That feels bad, man. That's okay. 288 units. This one is 400 units almost. Let's go ahead and do this. I have noticed that certain times, like whenever I look straight down or whatever, it does seem to lag a little bit more than other times. But you just never know. You never know what's going to happen with it. Sometimes it lags, sometimes it doesn't. I don't see another technology module, so we might as well just go over here to the natural burial site. And there's another technology module, and there's another one. Fantastic. As soon as we get 40 of these, we'll be good to go. Grab the rest of our blueprints to unlock. All right. Wow, lots of natural bones over here. Or lots of bones to be had anyways. I guess they're all natural. None of them were even rare, so it's kind of a waste, unfortunately. But that is okay. We are not in it for the bones, we are in it for the technology. Go ahead and grab this one. Head on over here. This one's nearby. I think we're getting really close to having exactly what we need. Wait, okay, so that'd be 30. Wait. Okay, we have more than what we need, actually. That is fantastic. We are good to go. Go ahead and call our starship. Let's make a starship launch fuel. Let's get off this laggy planet. Oh my goodness. That was killing my eyes. Oh, that made me feel funny. I don't know why it won't let me hyperdrive. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and call the space anomaly so it's close. We are getting scanned by hostiles, but we are going to retreat into the anomaly. They found valuable cargo, but we're going to go spend it. They can attack you if you're in the space station or the anomaly. Which is fine because you don't really get anything good from the space battles anyways. Get a little bit of magnetized ferrite, some cobalt. And that's about it, honestly. There's not a whole lot of point to it. It's definitely a lot more exciting to have the space battles on permadeath whenever, you know, dying matters. But, I mean, if you die in regular modes, all that happens is you respawn at a space system. There might be, like, a piece of technology broken on your starship or something. But nothing really bad is going to happen to you. Let's go ahead and learn the EM generator, mineral extractor, supply depot, and our supply piping. And that is actually everything we need. That's all of it. Now, we could get a gas extractor and set up like an oxygen farm. It's a little more efficient if you're not on survival or permadeath mode. But we're actually going to be going for activated indium. That is what we're going for. We're going to get a save beacon. Might as well. Landing pad would be fantastic. Do we want that? Or do we want a bigger refiner? we want the landing pad. Landing pad is fantastic. We really like that. Galactic Trade Terminal would also be really good, but we're not going to be farming that out right now. This is going to do us just fine for now. Alright, fantastic. Now let's go ahead and go back here. The space anomaly, we need to speak with Nada. Back to this mission. After we speak to Nada, we can actually go to the Nexus and accept missions. So ask him what to do. And you can ask for different things here. I'm going to ask for about the Crimson Lyre. It's going to tell you it's the Atlas. So seek the Atlas. And then he'll help you put a little dot on your map, basically. And here is the Nexus. Now we should have access to it. Yes. So you can see every weekend there's an event. It gives you 1,200 Quicksilver. It's also, you know, living glass is worth quite a bit, so that wouldn't be like a bad thing to do. Unearthing ancient bones, you can get some nanites, you can get some money. I mean, this is worth a couple million, I believe. So that'd be like really nice to do, but it's going to take a while. That's the thing, is they're going to take you to a planet that doesn't have very many knowledge stones, and you have to find 3 of them. They can be like 1,500 units apart. And then you have to go to another galaxy and collect some stuff, and I don't know. It's like a long mission, but it's kind of fun. If you've got some friends to play with, definitely check that out. That is the kind of starship I like. That is my favorite kind of starship. Definitely going to be keeping an eye out for one of those that we can get. Return to space to search for clues about Artemis. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'll tell you what. We need to get to a space station ASAP. But let's go ahead. I'm probably going to have a communicator come up. A little communicator message. Let's put the anomaly over here, because it's in our way again, as always. Okay. We got a little communication thing coming in. Let's go ahead and talk to Artemis here. Because one of our goals for the series is to go ahead and finish out all of the story missions. So this is plain domain. We're going to be doing it all. These choices, in my experience, don't really matter. Except to get through the dialogue quicker, so... Again, feel free, pause the video if you guys want to see all of the dialogues and everything. But... for everybody else that just wants to play, learn how to make a ton of units, how to get S-class starships and freighters without using a bunch of glitches and stuff. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're going to be doing. Go ahead and land. We're going to sell off everything that we got. We should have quite a bit of money now. Should be looking pretty good. We might even be able to trade in our starship for a better one, which is kind of what I want to do before we install our indium drive. But, I mean, I'm not going to get too bent up about it. Let's go ahead and sell all these bones. You have to sell them one at a time, unfortunately. But, I mean, hey, it's a lot of money. It's worth it. Let's go ahead and switch to our starship inventory. Sell all this stuff. Boom. I don't want to carry around the salvage data. We are going to need more, but we don't need it right now. I'll farm some off camera, maybe. Because that's not like the most exciting thing to see. But I did want to have it for today's episode. That's why we went ahead and farmed some there. Now we have lots of stuff done with. Let's go ahead and start installing technology, I guess. Is this a starship coming in? They're pretty far out. Let's go ahead and start installing stuff on our starship. Now, I know we don't have the best starship for this. We're going to have to redo a lot of this later on, which is kind of a bummer. But, you know, it is what it is. You do what you got to do. Let's go ahead and move some of this technology. No. Let's see. Let's plan this out a little bit. We want our hyperdrive stuff to all be touching. Because then we get a boost to our hyperdrive, like, distance. So let's go ahead and install technology. We need our cadmium drive. It's going to take a lot of chromatic metal. And then some wiring looms. We're going to have our emerald drive. And then we're going to have our indium drive. We also want our economy scanner. I'm not going to worry about the other thing. How much is your ship worth, dude? Too much. We don't have enough units to even trade our ship in for it. That is a really cool looking ship, though. I really like that. That is really neat looking. Let's see if he has any chromatic metal. You can actually talk with these guys, and you can buy and sell stuff to them. They work off of the galactic economy, but they don't affect the galactic economy. So, if you want to sell stuff, sell them to the merchant here. If you have like a home system you're farming stuff in, just sell them to a merchant, and then you don't have to go out and do all the other stuff. Like, go find another planet or another star system every time you want to sell your stuff. So let's go ahead. He does not have any copper or chromatic metal, which is a little big unfortunate. A little bit unfortunate. But that is the nature of No Man's Sky. Sometimes you just don't have what you need. We can always go to another star system. We have hyperdrive fuel. We'll be hopping star systems a few times anyways. So yeah, it looks like that's what we're going to have to do. Let's go ahead and get on that. I could wait on the ship to get here. It's going to take it a while. They changed that. I don't know why they changed it so that it takes forever. Kind of an annoying change, honestly, but I mean, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and refuel this. Go to our galactic map. And we're going to have a little pop-up here towards the Atlas, which is another mission, the Atlas path. So that is the shortest distance apparently we can get there from. So let's go ahead and take that path. Atlas is worth going to. We'll get a couple of free hyperdrive fuels while we're there. Go ahead and check out that planet. Or not. Our scanner's basically recharged. Let's go ahead and try that out. Hollow terminus detected. Cool. Bleak planet. Not worried about it. Let's go to the space station over here. Kind of hard to drive a spaceship sometimes. But we did it. We did good. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Let's go check it out. Every time we go to a new system, we can always get another slot in our inventory as long as we have the money to do so. Let's go ahead and plop that down. Start upgrading our regular suit. Let's also see if they've got a good movement module for us. It feels pretty good right now, but it could always be better. Shield module, toxic module. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I just want the S-Class at this point. Not going to waste my money on the other stuff. Whoa! Okay, alien multi-tool. That is cool looking, man. That is cool looking. And I can buy it, so I'm gonna buy it. That is really cool looking, dude. Holy moly. That's the first alien multi-tool I've actually seen in my own galaxy. Fantastic! We can go to X. Hit X, go to Utilities, and then swap multi-tool. And now, oh man, that thing is cool. We could actually rename it if we want, but I'm not really worried about that. That is a cool looking multi-tool. I'm happy with that. It's got a bolt caster on it, mining beam, analysis visor, and scanner. So, I mean, it's basically in the same shape as our other one. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some navigational data here. Got some nanites. Don't really need the nanites. Need the navigational data. But it is what it is. Ooh, we got some cool looking fighters over here. And another hauler. Lots of money being put into those for certain. We don't have the money for that quite yet, but that is something we will work on. I think last thing we should do before we round off the stream, let's go ahead and purchase some of these maps. As many as we can. We got 5 pieces of data. See if they've got any chromatic metal for sale. They've got copper. Copper is good enough. We can refine that. I don't have a problem with that. Uranium is good if you want to refuel your launch thrusters without having to make starship fuel. Uranium is great for that. We're going to need 1 of these and 5 of these for our economy scanner, since we're going to be jumping around some more. So let's go ahead and go to our starship. Economy scanner. Install the wiring loom and the microprocessors, and we're good to go. Good to go. All I'm going to do is go to here and scan 1 of these. Abandoned building detected. Not exactly what we want, but you know, it's a thing. It's a thing. Oh, we got a hostile subspace scan detected. Looks like they want to establish comms, so let's go ahead and do that. Now we can bargain with them. We can give them everything they want and they'll leave us alone. Bargain might work. Otherwise, we can refuse. Let's refuse. I'm not worried about it. I don't think they'll be able to kill us anyways. Where are they coming from? Oh. There we go. Try to keep that little target right on. They're also getting fired on by other spacecraft, so there was only 1 of them. Dude, they were trying to hold me up. There was only 1 of them. What a joke. What a joke. Let's go to the abandoned building. We might be able to get some good stuff. Apparently somebody is using my Uber account to go grab an Uber because I just got texted. That's kind of strange. That's a little strange. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Goodbye from the stream. Take care. Welcome back to the stream again. We just got an alien multi-tool. It's not a great one, But it's an alien multi-tool nonetheless. I'm right happy about that. Let's check this thing out on planet. Yeah, that thing looks cool too, man. That is so cool. Oh, we don't have a terrain manipulator on this thing. No problem. Let's just go ahead and swap back. Actually, while we're here, let's go ahead and use another planetary chart. I really want to find a distress beacon. That way we can see if there's... we don't want a freighter crash. That's not what we want. Let's try one more time. We don't want to use all of them because at a certain point it'll just use it and say nothing found. Yeah, like that. That's a little unfortunate, big unfortunate. So we're going to end off the episode here. Thank you guys so much for coming out and watching. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. My name is Cairo, and we'll be doing this hopefully every Sunday. So look forward to that if you're a No Man's Sky fan. We got a list of things that we are trying to accomplish. This is our Plane to Main series. And without further ado, guys, my name is Cairo, and I'm out. Peace.